My name's Zack Tilves. I'm the Director of Football Operations here at Kent State Football. I know you've all heard about all the stuff going on last week on our trip to Buffalo, so I'm just going to give you a first-person account on pretty much what all went down. Day started off, we originally were going to leave at about noon on Tuesday. Found out that they were going to get probably 2 to 3 feet of snow, so we bumped it up to 9 a.m. departure time. I woke up in the morning the day we were supposed to leave, checked the internet for the weather, and saw that I-90 was already closed. First thing I did was called Coach Haynes, gave him the rundown, and said, hey, we may have a little bit of an issue here. Let's just get all the guys to the stadium, and then we'll go from there. So we got all the guys to the stadium and just said, hey, we're going to start meetings right now. We'll figure out a backup plan. So I started looking for hotels in Erie, Pennsylvania, which is halfway in between here and Buffalo. Got our guys boarded on the bus about 11:45 and started our way up there. Got to very close to Erie, about probably hour and a half up the road, and we decided to see, hey, let's try to get to Buffalo. So we took a back route, which was I-90 to I-86, 390 north up into Rochester, and then we took back roads from Rochester pretty much all the way into Buffalo. On our way into Buffalo, actually, right outside of Rochester, bus 3 actually blew a tire, so we had to pull off and load all the guys from bus 3 on the bus 1 and 2, so a lot of guys were doubled up for pretty much 4.5 hours. Got to Buffalo and pulled in the hotel about 8:30 at night. And all the guys were hungry already, so they were rushing upstairs to drop off their stuff and come back down to eat. Right before we were about to start dinner, I got a call from one of our players. Said they were stuck on an elevator. So I went to go investigate that. Got up to the 3rd floor where they were stuck, and the doors were pried open, and there were 12 guys in there. So they were in there for probably close to an hour. But while they were in there for that hour, interesting thing is we actually had the dinner delivered up to them, and most of them ate in the elevator until we could get them off. Ended up finishing the night, and next morning we started hearing more news that the equipment wasn't going to make it there in time. Did everything we could to get it there that night, but at 4 o'clock, right when our guys were eating pregame meal, we heard news that they were going to postpone the game until the next day. So we let the guys just keep eating pregame meal like normal and pulled them inside for a team meeting at about 5 and let them know. So just went as the night went. They had a movie. They had another snack later that night. And it was about 10:30 actually. And me and some of the support staff were standing down in the lobby, and their lobby it's made out of all glass. And it's snowing really hard at the time. And out of nowhere, we see this big flash and a boom. And everybody just stopped what they were doing. Everybody's looking at each other. And somebody was finally like, was that lightning? And there was actually lightning and thunder until about 3 in the morning that night. So the next day, wake up. We don't know exactly when we're going to play yet. We're thinking anytime between 3 and 5 o'clock maybe. It's all up in the air when we can get the truck out, if we can get the truck out. And they keep pushing it back, and they say, well, we'll play the next day. Well, during this whole time, we're trying to keep our guys occupied. Our offense is actually doing a scavenger hunt where they're going throughout the hotel, taking selfies with people, introducing themselves to the hotel staff or anything like that. They had Devin Crosby actually had to mention them on Twitter. And then at night, actually, at about 7:30, we first got word that they were going to cancel the game. So we needed to call a team meeting for 8:30, and that's whenever the MAC and Kent State and Buffalo were going to release that. We told them, hey, just so you guys know, the game is canceled. But the good news is it's Akron week, and guys got all excited, and they were ready to go. And another funny story is that night, actually, once that whole closure of no game, we had bed check at 10:30, and I was already asleep at the time. But At about 11 o'clock, supposedly a lot of the guys were outside in the downtown Buffalo and had a snowball fight. So the kids just needed to get outside and just blow off some steam and have some fun and act like kids. So it was a pretty interesting trip, but other than that, we're back here safe and ready to beat Akron. So beat Akron, go Flashes.